Hey guys, what's up? Are you 1 or 0 here? In this video, we will be solving 5 OSCP-similar HacktheBox missions in less than 30 minutes.
Welcome to OffSec certification, penetration, test, better than the rest.
I don't have a list by myself, so basically I went through the most viewed blog posts around OSCP experiences, and I basically created a list and I decided to come up with a series to solve the most OSCP similar boxes, HacktheBox boxes. So this is the first video. In order to make it most useful, I basically chose 5 easy missions, and I will be sharing my own way to solve these boxes. Hopefully this will be useful for people who are preparing for OSCP to see the methodology. If you're ready, let's jump in. In the first video, we will be solving Lame from HacktheBox. It's a very easy machine, and as you can see, I'm starting with SV for the version information, SC for the safe script, and VV for the verbose output. We're writing IP address, we're waiting for output to come. As you can see, there are already some open ports showing up: 22, 139, 21, and 445. So SMB ports are open, FTP is open, and SSH port is open. Let's see for the version information to get more information for the enumeration phase. Okay, for 21 FTP port, we see that VSFTPD some version has been used. I know that this version is vulnerable. I immediately check for source exploit to make sure that I can grab an exploit for it. And as you can see, there's backdoor command execution exploit embedded in Metasploit. So the first thing I'm using is MSF console, firing up MSF console to make sure that I can use that exploit. For the first video, I'm not using manual exploitation. I'm just using Metasploit to be quick, but I know that in the exam, they're not encouraging people to use. So in here, we're doing FTP enumeration since anonymous FTP is loved. As you can see, we have nothing to see here. So I'm skipping FTP part for enumeration, for anonymous FTP enumeration. I'm setting up the R hosts for the vulnerable IP, running the exploit, and no session has been created. So what does it mean? The exploit is not working. So the second part is SSH. There is nothing that I can do with this version. And the next thing is SMB. I know that this version is outdated. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm checking online if there is any known vulnerabilities for this version. When I check online, I'm seeing some vulnerabilities. For instance, you can just check the Rapid7 website to make sure that you can catch a Metasploit exploit there. As you can see, it shows us the module name. We are just copying this payload. We're just copying this comment with use. We're killing this VSFTPD as it's not giving us anything. We're using the SMB script. Again, we are setting the R hosts to the vulnerable box. L host should be our IP address with the HacktheBox VPN. So we're taking the IP address and we're just setting it for L host. You can change L port. I don't like 4444 port, so I'm generally changing, but let's keep it for now. When we run, command shell session opened. Immediately, we get a shell. I'm calling this box very easy because you don't need to do privilege escalation. It just immediately gives you the root shell. You're checking for sessions with this command, and you're specifying the number of sessions, sessions -I1. And when you check for root, who am I? It's root. Perfect. We got the box. That was the first one. Awesome. So let's switch to the next one, which should be Jerry. I think that's the first HacktheBox mission that I ever solved. It's another very easy one. Let's see. Of course, I start with an nmap scan. The same option, -SC for safe scripts, -SB for versioning, VV for verbose, and IP address. We're seeing that 8080 port is open, an HTTP port, and we're waiting for versioning information. Let's see what kind of service and version is in use. And it shows us Apache Tomcat. So I know what to do with Apache Tomcat, but first I need to see. So we're firing it up with the IP address and the port number 8080. When I see the Apache Tomcat default page, the first thing I'm looking is the endpoint manager HTML to make sure that there is a login page. As you can see, there is a login page. So I am trying basic credentials like admin. It doesn't give me a success. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to do brute forcing. There's a great, easy to use MSF console module, but of course you can always do it manually. In this video, for the sake of video to be easy, I'm just using MSF console, but we will change it in the next videos. So I'm searching for Tomcat. As you can see, there is Tomcat and MGR login. I will be using that module. I will be using the command use and the module name, and we'll check for options. Yeah, my N key is broken. That's always doubling. So I'm setting the rhost for the IP address, and already word lists are by default set there. I'm running it and looking if there is any success for the default credentials pairs. Cool. Here we go. We have a login successful. Tomcat secret with a different character, three number instead of E. It's a default password. Then we will be using it to log in. So whenever you have a Tomcat page, you are, we need to remove the history first, delete history. We will be logging in with the credentials. Whenever you see that you are seeing this web page, you will try to create a WAR file and try to upload it in this WAR file to deploy section. We will be using MSF Venom for this. I think you can also use this in OSCP exam. There's no problem with that. So I will be using the following payload, Java interpreter versus TCP. Then I will be setting my L host, my own IP address. It was 14.7, yes. Always going to Sublime. I don't know why. Setting up L host, just set an L port, whatever port you want to listen on. And file type is war, and we will be saving it as jerry.war under TMP directory. I'm creating the file. I will be firing up Metasploit to make sure that I can listen on this part with the same payload that I specified. So I will be going back to Metasploit and we'll use exploit multi-handler with the following payload that I already used while creating the war file. Like I said, use exploit multi-handler, the following module, and then we'll say set payload for the payload that I use for the creation of the war file. I will set lhost as my own IP address, 10.10.14.7, and for the port number, it will be, what was that, 8888. I will check for options. If everything looks fine, I will run it in the background with -J options, and I will trigger the file by uploading it first, of course. Temp directory, it should be there somewhere. Jerry, yeah. Deploy it. And then we will trigger it. We will click on it to make sure that we are triggering the WAR file that we already sent, which is giving us a metapreter session, the exciting moments. So we will be checking for sessions. We will be going to the session with -I option. We will get the shell and we'll ask for who am I? Enter to the system. We already don't need a privilege escalation here. Super cool. All right, going to the next box. As you can see, guys, it's super uber easy. But you know, as a beginner, you should probably be familiar with these concepts and these tools. So next one can be blue. It's another super easy one. I think it was MS1710 exploit. Let's see. We're starting with nmap to see which ports are open with the same options that I always use. As you can see, -SC, -SV, and VV for verbose. As you can see, there is SMB port open. And let's see if we can see any enumeration on versioning and the service information. Go on, go on. I mean, it's all about if you know where to look at. You do the enumeration really strong in a way that you will get to all the answers. Enumeration phase is always the most important one because then you will know what to look at. And since you know how to exploit it by the experiment, it will be time saving. All right, so we got the output. Let's see what we have here. Windows 7 information that I'm seeing there. I will immediately use the following nmap scripts. It's very cool. I will be pasting it somewhere for you guys to use. I think I have it in my GitHub repository. I will be checking for the port 139.445. I will be writing the IP addresses, and then we'll be writing the following script SMB warm and all these kind of exploits that are applicable for SMB. Basically, I'm checking for any script that NSE support and map supports. And as you can see, it gives us the answer if the host is vulnerable to these known vulnerabilities or not. As you can see, there is MS1710. I'm happy now because I know that I can exploit this very quickly. Since we will be using the Metasploit way, it will be super quick, but you can also do it with grabbing a manually grabbing a script from GitHub, and you'll just get it in no time. I will be using the following exploit, Eternal Blue. I will be using it. I will check for options. We'll just set our hosts as IP address. We'll change my L host as this is another interface IP address. My ton one should be 10.10.14.7. I will be setting it up. I'll be setting an L port running, and it's exploiting for us. Session opened. That's a feeling that I can never replace them with something else. So we will ask for sessions, or with -i option to immediately go to the shell. And when I ask for who am I, if I can write correctly, it says enter to the system, no privilege escalation needed. Woohoo! Let's go to the next box. Cool. So the next one should be Devel box from HacktheBox. So we're starting with nmap again. Cool. The same script, same comment. We're waiting. As you can see, FTP port is open 21, 80 is open HTTP. We are waiting for service and versioning information. It's scanning the two services that's been found. Waiting for that, but pretty quick. Perfect. As you can see, anonymous FTP is loved. I love that part. And there's an HTTP page. It's IIS. When I go to there, I can verify it. I will be using anonymous FTP, and we'll go there with FTP comment. I will write anonymous and no password. When I say ls, as you can see, there is this is.htm, the default page that I'm seeing in the browser, and I'm seeing whatever file that I'm putting there, it will be immediately in the root directory for the web page. So what I'm gonna do is I will be creating a file with MSF Venom, with Windows Meterpreter reverse TCP. I will be changing the L host information. Probably this is coming from previous times. Yeah, 7 L port will be. Oh my God, I'm writing it wrong. I will realize now. I created this video without any voice, without speaking. So right now I'm watching my video and I'm realizing what kind of errors I'm doing. When you're in the motion, sometimes you don't realize. It just goes, because the box is 10.10.10.5. Now I just realized it. Yeah, perfect. I solved the box for you guys, like all at the same time, 5 bucks consecutively. So I think the numbers are a bit mixed. So I'm also firing MSF console to make sure that I'm listening for the reverse shell. I will be using exploit multi-handler, and then we'll be using the payload that I specified on MSF Venom while creating an ASPX file. All right, as you can see, I'm setting the payload, I'm setting host, output information for my IP address and the port number that I will listen on while creating the ASPX file. Options looks cool, run in the background with -j options. Now we will be uploading this file with put comment in FTP. The file name is x.aspx. I will be putting x.aspx here if I can speak. Yeah, it gave me a problem, gave me an error. Service not available. I think my connection dropped at the point. I did the exact same thing again, anonymous, with no password, ls. As you can see, yeah, it happens. Exit, clear, do it again and again and again. It happens. I solved the box in like 5 minutes, but without these errors, it should have been faster. Exit ASPX, I'm putting it finally. File is uploaded. With ls option, we can see that file is there and we will be triggering it in the browser with exit ASPX, and it should be giving me the shell. As you can see here, Meterpreter session 1 opened. I am happy now. I'm going to the shell, and the lucky thing about this box is that thankfully it's not giving us root. I don't believe that I'm saying this, but yeah, we need to do privilege escalation. So I'm doing it with the following payload, exploit suggester. I'm running it in the background for the current session to make sure that Metasploit will suggest me whatever privilege escalation technique that I can do. Don't worry, guys. In the next videos, it will not be only beginner friendly, and I will be doing manual methods. That's not what I got. But this is a beginner-friendly video for most OSCP-similar boxes from HacktheBox. So we're using Metasploit because as a beginner, you don't know how to use Metasploit. So if I show you now manually exploitation, you can freak out. Let's not freak out, okay? Let's go slowly. I've been there. So yeah, as you can see, we have a bunch of techniques that we can use because it says a target appears to be vulnerable or target is vulnerable. So we will be using any of these. I will start with the MS1353 because 13 is a lucky number for me. Cool. So I will be using it. We say use command options. It will just ask for the session information, set session. Whatever session you have, we will run it, and it will give us another session with anti-authority system. But first, you need to put your IP address and the port number that you want to listen on. You will run it. It will beautifully come to your way. Just wait. It's injecting some DLLs. We will have these videos too, like all manually. But for now, it's like this. And for when I ask for her, my anti-authority system, beautiful. We got the privilege escalation in a very easy way. Next one. Next one is Nibbles from HacktheBox. It's another very cool box. Beginner friendly. Let's do it. I'm starting with an nmap scan for any open ports, VC22, SSH, and AD HTTP. While waiting for scan to be completed, I'm just starting to check by myself what's going on there. I'm also firing up and Deerbuster for director brute forcing. And when I check the first source code for the main page, I see this directory as a comment, Nibble blog. When I go there, voila, we have a blog page. So what will I do is I will be using this in Deerbuster to do director brute forcing. Don't forget, like me, to choose the word list. I do this sometimes. We will go to user, share, word lists, Deerbuster. Okay, I'm speaking fast again. User, share, go to W. Come on, R100. Do it quick. Yeah, I spent a lot of time. What did I do there? Probably my dog was distracting me in the background. I'm not sure. Deerbuster. Yeah, click on it. It's okay. And I'm generally using this medium word list. Starting it, go to the tree view to see it more in a fast manner. As you can see, there was like feed.php. We're getting some information there. What do we have? We have content directory. Now let's poke around a bit to see what we have. And map is done at the same time. So we are firing up MSF console. You see, I wish that everything was faster. I talk faster, I think faster, but MSF console is slow. And MSF is slow. My VM is slow. Damn it. Okay, I'm also thinking that maybe there's even an exploit for this nibble block thing. When I check for MSF console, yeah, as you can see, there is an exploit already. So I'm saying, why not? Let's try to use it. You know, it's easier than checking online. As you can see, there is an option which asks you to write username password, because this is a file upload which leads to remote code execution. But in order to do that, you need to be authenticated. I realized it later when I was using the exploit, then yeah, it asks me. And I go back and I continued my enumeration. This is what I'm talking about. If you don't do the enumeration properly, you always struggle because why? I mean, you didn't realize that you didn't realize how to use the exploit. You just jumped into it. It's okay. You'll learn. So I'm trying to log in. I'm thinking that probably there's like a page, admin.php or something. I'm going for users.xml first, and I'm seeing that there is like an admin user poking around a bit, but I need to find the login page to make sure that I can log in. And I'm just going to admin.php because I know that they're using PHP. I saw other files. I'm using a couple of stuff like Nibbles, admin, Nibble blogin, etc. And only Nibbles password is working. Here to poke around a bit. There's no default password that you can use in this way. So Nibbles, like with the S at the end, worked. But I was blacklisted. It happened. Yeah, so it will give us a couple of errors, but it will be okay later. We use password Nibbles. We've run, as you can see, I'm blacklisted, so there are like some problems that I'm seeing here. Anyway, after a time, when I continued working on this, it stopped blacklisting me. Blackmailing, oh my God. I'm watching so many Spanish movies about, I'm watching El Chapo and Pablo Escobar a lot, I guess. So I'm getting the shell. I'm asking for who am I. It says Nibbler. It says Nibbler because I'm not a root yet. So in order to do the privilege escalation, so I'm checking for the kernel information with unit -a. I'm getting the information and checking online. That shows me a local privilege escalation script from exploitdb. I'm just downloading the file. If this is so fast, just pause the video and check my comments slowly. I'm getting it from wget, moving it to identify easily. Let's go, escalation, privilege escalation. That's a C file. Then I will be sending this file to my vulnerable box with simple HTTP server, Python simple HTTP server. So what I'm doing is that I'm getting it to the temp directory because probably I cannot write file to another directory. I'm going with wget. I'm writing my own IP address, listening on 8000 in the same directory to get the is.c file. I got the file. I'll be using GCC. Thankfully, it's on the server already. I am using -o option for the output. We got it. Change mode for making it exploitable and exploit it. Hello, root shell. We already got it. Who am I? Root. This is the happy moment. Awesome. So as you can see, less than 30 minutes, we got 5 boxes. I'm not saying it to boost my ego because these are so easy boxes. It's not really realistic. In a pen test or bug bounty, you're not seeing that easy scenarios. But if you're a beginner, if you're trying to get OSCP, if you're trying to learn the CTF concepts, I'm coming up with the series to make sure that I'm covering every single Hack the Box machines which are similar to OSCP boxes. This is the first video. To make it a bit fun, I included 5 different boxes in one video. In the next videos, I will go with a bit more intermediate level, and I will be using the lists that people already wrote in their blog posts for the most similar OSCP boxes. So I assume that we will probably solve like 20 to 30 boxes. Some of them will be beginner, some of them will be intermediate, some of them will be hard and insane as Hack the Box categorizes. But I'm sure that we will have a lot of fun. I'm also planning to create another video for buffer overflow. I already have one video in my YouTube channel for buffer overflow. I think I again made like 3 different buffer overflow in 30 minutes or something. I like these kind of challenges. Don't question it. I don't know why. But yeah, I will create another one because I think I was not speaking back then. Like, I was a bit shy to create videos for YouTube. I was just writing on Sublime and stuff. Why not, you know? Don't worry. You will be seeing me and hearing me for the next buffer overflow video. But before that, we need to cover more boxes from HacktheBox, and hopefully you like the video. I'm thinking, is there anything else you'd like to hear from me? Just leave a comment so that I will be including for the next video. Please be respectful while writing a comment. The video is not about my appearance. The video is not about my, somebody said fake accent. I don't have a fake accent. I speak English in my daily life. That's my accent. I don't know if you call it fake, but my intention is to create educational videos to help people because I'm doing it for community. I believe sharing is caring. I learned a lot from this community and I'm just giving it back now while still continue to learn. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more content while I'm creating more videos for you for the next week, guys. Cheers.
This one dedicated to all those who complete the mob sex certification, to ones who not fault and not waver. No one to try hard and get braver. You must not fail, you must not nigga the bus. Try harder, you must. Sex, try harder. Only way to get your OSCP. You must try harder than you can believe. Cause that day